I have all this motivation and I love to work. Like I work day in, day out. And I wanted to ask, how do I find balance when I have so many passions and I want to make all of them big?
Patience.
Okay.
When you're talking, I'm like, oh, this is the blonde woman version of me, right? Like I also had all those things that I wanted to do. But what I did, like what you did, which I admire so much, was first I created a stability.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 34, I started Vayner and the way I looked at it was to build a platform.
Okay.
And now I'm 44 and things like empathy wines can happen. Other things will happen over the next decade. And so I think the biggest issue you probably have is what almost everybody has, which is when you have ambition, it's awfully hard to also have patience.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like I want to do all these things and I love them.
I feel like for whatever reason, luck of the draw with DNA, circumstance, maybe seeing my parents, just work forever and I don't know what, but I was gifted with extreme patience and extreme ambition. And I think that I've come to realize, especially in my early 40s now, that is not as common as I would think, because I had it. And I think that what's hurting you is your own judgment on yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And that comes from lack of patience. Like, give it time. Mm-hmm. You're a young woman. You really are. Give it time. Give it time for these things to manifest. And also understand that one of those three things may fail.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I try to take, like you say, like failures is better than winning sometimes because you learn so much from it.
100%. And as long as you give the right intent and did it the right way and went about it the right way, then you're in a really good spot. It's just, patience is hard because it's important.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
People are like, Gary, patience is hard. I'm like, no shit, because it's the fucking core ingredient to success for most people.
Yeah, and I feel like everything for me was like hard growing up, and now like in my 20s, like it just kind of started going positively. So I'm like, go, 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 go all the time. Because I'm like,
because hardship in youth a lot of times is a secret to success.
Okay.
Like You're such a go-getter because you had such adversity to stability. You've created stability so quickly because it's what you yearned for because you didn't have it. Most people actually have it as a child. Some have too much of it, which actually makes them the reverse of you, which is entitled and soft.
Yeah, definitely. And I have like all these experiences and these stories, and I find myself being able to like motivate other people, and I want to focus on doing that, and I want to focus on making my businesses matter.
Me too. And I've been doing it, and I've been doing it every day since 2006.
Yes, I just need to be patient. I feel myself feeling like rushed all the time.
Why?
That's the question, I guess.
Why? To whom? Whose affirmation are you looking for?
Right.
Who are you looking to say that you did it?
Yeah, definitely. I guess myself, like I genuinely am so happy with what I'm doing. I just have to be more patient with it.
Yeah, and take a breath and be like fucking grateful.
Yeah. 100%.
Like here we are, right? Like look how quickly you've been able to, sometimes people with tough childhoods don't really get to that place until their 40s or 50s, which is still remarkable off of that starting point. You've been able to do it so quickly. You were gifted with talent and you were trained and circumstanced into hard work. And here we are.
Yeah, definitely. And I know like my two businesses with my wine client and my event company, like I know it can work. Like I have it in my head and it's
just put your head down for a decade and make them work.
Yeah.
And then when you wake up in 6 years and you want more personal life stuff, do that too. And then in 9 years, when you want to, after that, in 15 years, when you want to get into something altogether new, do that.
Yeah.
No rules.
I went through I got married, and then I went through a very, very, very difficult divorce. Four children involved for 4. Yes, I have 5 kids. 4 of them were from this marriage. And so because of the nature of this divorce, like I felt like in order to protect the children and the future that we had, like I had to kind of back away. I didn't get to tuck my kids into bed for 4 years. And so, all of that is over, but, I basically went into hiding, and some circumstances happened that my church asked me to leave. And understand, like, I'm not upset about my church. I love the people, I love the church, and I love all that stuff. And I'm super thankful for everything I've been given. But there's still this fear. Yeah, like what can I get back out there and do it safely and protect because my family is number one. Well, David, and I'm remarried, and I have an amazing wife. She's actually listening to this right now.
Hi, David. You know this because you clearly followed me super, super closely. You're in control of what you put out. I share nothing about my kids.
I noticed that. I know that you don't. Like you're I don't even know what your wife looks like.
That's right. The Google result is wrong. It's that that's how private I am. And so, I think good news. Of course you can go out there. You are in control of what you say and what conversations you get involved with. And that's that.
I knew it was going to be that simple, but I have this, like, I want to be authentic and real and not put on a show.
Don't put on a show. Be authentic and real in categories that you're willing to be authentic and real in. Right? Like, right. What I think you're missing here is you don't have to be in every conversation.
And I'm definitely not.
Nor am I. I stay very narrow.
Okay.
And that's it. You go into the conversation. I mean, you should see what's going on in the sports card conversation I'm in. A lot of percentage of that audience doesn't like me coming because they think I'm bringing the prices up and I don't really care about it. Like, like any conversation you go into, you're going to have judgment.
Sure.
But if you come with good intent, it all plays out in the end. But there's people that don't even do social media because like, Gary, I don't want my shit out there. I'm like, then don't post it.
Don't post it, right?
Right? So, I get where you're going. There's plenty of subject matters that you don't want to get in, maybe you don't get into conversations around divorce, online. I think I never fear not being authentic because I'm always authentic. I just don't go into combos that I don't feel like I know what I'm talking about or that I don't want to share because I'm private.
Yeah. I can relate to so many of the people that you've had as guests. I mean, you had Diana back last week, and like she's a procrastinator because she's, wanting to be perfect. And so I want to put out the right content. And I'm like, well, do I say it this way or do I say it that way? And you're always saying, put out the junk. And I'm just like, that just freaks me out. Putting out the trash just freaks me out.
It freaks you out because you value the judgment too much.
Maybe.
You got it? It's also why you're fearful, right? Like when you go through something like that and you gave me some context, there's a lot of judgment that comes along without full context. And so that makes people retrieve. There's so many people. I mean, people are struggling right now because we have cancel and mob culture. People are judging everything. One of our political parties sells fear. The other one sells shame. It's at the extremes. It's very, 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 very difficult. But
and I'm worried that somebody's going to see something and go, oh, well, I'm going to use that against him. And it's like, I don't want to live in that fear.
Then don't get involved in things that could lead to that. Say things you believe in and stay in conversations that you're comfortable in. It's why I don't go into healthcare conversations or how to build bridges, or I don't talk about cryptocurrency. People want me to talk about it all the time. I've got my little base of knowledge. I invested in Bitcoin a long time ago and so kind of did well, but have not stayed up with it, blockchain and things of that nature. I actually know quite a bit because even me not staying up on it, the way I roll probably has, I watch people talking that claim literally in their things, say cryptocurrency experts, and I don't even know what they're saying is wrong. The sports card thing, I studied for a year before I started putting out content, and I was in that business for 11 years of my life and deeply am involved in sports, I know what I'm talking about. And so stay in what you know and say what you mean, and people using it against you can only be, listen, David, we have a technology called deep fake. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Well, we're going to live in a world in 15 years where people are going to have me in this video say something I didn't say because the technology is that advanced. People are not going to even believe in video. We're going to have to live in a very different world of real self-love and compassion, because people are chipping away and are trying to divide. And what we need to do is come together. And I'm just very not interested in judging people because I know I don't have all the context. And I'm very interested in loving people until proven otherwise. And I'm compassionate and empathetic and sympathetic. And I don't need any validation from anybody. I'm in my own cocoon. And that's what you need to practice to get to. Period, end of story. I mean that. If you know who you are and your children know who you are and your loved ones know who you are, who gives a fuck what Sammy Pants 96 thinks? You're just gonna have to get there, brother. And I know that through parenting and high school and life, that 95% of people watching right now do feel things when somebody says something about them. I'm just trying to teach them how not to. And it actually starts with not getting too high in reverse. What people don't realize about me is like when you started saying all those nice things in the beginning, I get a little shy, believe it or not. Like I can relate to that. I'm aware that I've got good stuff going on. I don't need it. I don't need the accolades, which is why I'm not vulnerable to the criticism.
Right on. Yeah, I just need to maybe laser focus. And I mean, like your last guest, Candace, she said she's not creative. I'm not creative either, but I am a Jedi master at copy and paste. And so, I see what you're doing.
Copy and paste your way into happiness and recognize that you went through a shitstorm for 4 or 5 years. How much worse is it going to be? Don't be scared.